So imagine it's the 19th century and you're a textile worker in Britain. You're used to making material by hand using basic machinery, and along comes an automated process that is going to make making material and clothing a lot cheaper, quicker, easier, more accessible to people. Then what happens? Out pops a man by the name of Ned Ludd, and he starts a movement that became known as the Luddites. And these were a whole lot of textile workers that viewed those machines as machines that were going to take away their jobs. So they organized raids and went from factory to factory breaking those machines to stop the progress. Right? Now, in this day and age, we use the term Luddite to indicate somebody who is resistant to progress. Become a bit of a joke. It's an insult to call somebody a Luddite. You're calling them somebody who just doesn't want to see the future. We all know how that story ends because now we've got wardrobes full of clothes. It's relatively cheap. We couldn't imagine a time, why would somebody want to break a machine that makes your lives better? Well, to those people, they thought that was what they would need to do. So let's roll forward to the 21st century. Who are the Luddites now? Well, in South Africa, our Luddites are the African National Congress. They are the Luddites. We are moving towards an age of increased personal freedom, increased personal access. And the ANC are trying to stop that progress. We go to a general election in 2024 and the ANC loses its majority. Instead of seeing that they need to progress, instead of analyzing the election by saying, what did we do wrong? They refuse to do that. They try and hide behind sideshows, national dialogues, commission of inquiries, as if they don't know what it is that we're trying to do. They're trying to break the machine. The machine is what South Africans want. What is the machine that South Africa wants? It wants progress. We don't see electricity as something we should be grateful for. We see electricity as something that is a commodity that we should pay for, and when I turn up that switch, the light should go on. The ANC sees that as progress that's going to stop their little game. So instead of embracing progress, they try and break progress. We know how the story ends because we saw it with the Luddites. They tried to stop factories from making cheap goods. They never succeeded. The ANC won't succeed in trying to stop progress. The ANC get forced into a government of national unity. Instead of saying, this is what the people want, and progress is working with these other parties to make South Africa a better place. These Luddites try and break that process. Right? They try and break the progress. Instead of working with the other parties, getting the best out of everybody and creating a better country, they try and break it. They want to keep their hands on certain ministries so that they can keep going with the same ideology that has made people not vote for them. Break progress. That's all they want to do. They are Luddites. And we've got to understand what they are. We live in an interconnected world. A world in which you don't get your goods from one place. Can you imagine how many different parts there are in your car that come from different parts of the world? Such a dynamic thing, that phone in your pocket. You know, a chip from this country, a casing from that country, assembled in a third country, brought to you. It's a process. But instead of adopting a world in which you trade with everybody, these Luddites think it's 1980 and we're still fighting a Cold War. So we've got to fight with our old enemies that haven't fired a shot at us. We must embrace this theocracy in Iran where they try and subjugate women. Why? Because they see that as a link to the past. But South Africans want to progress. We are in the 21st century. All South Africans want more freedom, not less freedom. They want more progress, not less progress. Yeah, there are going to be some old people that are saying, oh God, I wish the world was still the way it was when I was young. Don't worry. Those old people are going to die soon. They're not worth listening to. South Africa's got a young, burgeoning population. They want to progress. But the ANC wants to break progress. We're at the edge of the fourth industrial revolution. It has begun. It's not going to stop. We are not going to stop this interconnected world. These people and organizations, they talk about the world not progress. We have a few hiccups, but the progress will never stop. Countries will advance. We see it. We keep on hearing about they are fighting China and the USA for the leadership of the world. The two countries have never done more trade than what they're doing now. They will progress together. The politicians will yap on the one side, but the people will make the progress. And if there's an invention in America, it will get adopted in China. But in South Africa, we're still trying to act like we can turn the clock back, just like the Luddites. Progress is the game. I had the privilege of interviewing one of the best entrepreneurial speakers and futurists in the world, Daniel Priestley. These interviews will come out soon on the State of the Nation. This is a guy who understands modern business, understands the intersection of business and technology, understands artificial intelligence. And it woke me up as to how far behind we are in our thinking in South Africa. And the threat to the country as the rest of the world advances. How quickly it is to scale a business that reaches all around the globe. What do our Luddites want to do? They want national health insurance, expropriation without compensation. Bella Act, they want to tell you how you should educate your children. They want black economic empowerment, employment equity. They want to tell you who you can employ. In the new world, it's laughable. I had to sit 2 meters away from this man, Daniel Priestley, and try to explain to him some of the hurdles you have to running a business in South Africa. And I think he thought I was lying. That's not to say that we mustn't overcome our problems. But will we overcome our problems by breaking the machine? Did Ned Ludd and his mates in 19th century Britain manage to stop the progress of machinery in the textile industry? Not at all. It was a very minor setback. And then things powered ahead and machinery went from strength to America, to South Africa, to China. The whole world uses those machines that Ned Ludd tried to break. The ANC thinks that the world is going to go back into another Cold War. No, it's not. We are way too interconnected. For those of you who think that there's still going to be some kind of fight between these superpowers, nobody's got the appetite for that. So when our general goes and stands in front of these Iranian counterparts and says, South Africa are with you in Iran, does that mean that South Africa is with you in oppressing women? In a country like South Africa, do you think we could start oppressing women? I don't think so. We're a country that will progress. All we need to determine is the speed at which we will progress. But the country is going to go forward. We're going to use those machines. We are not going to wait for permission. All of these laws that were set up for the 19th century or the 20th century that may have been applicable 60 years ago are not applicable anymore. The country needs to move on. We need to be worried about how we get greater connectivity, access to the internet for more people in our population. We can't stop it. This isn't North Korea. So I don't understand these Luddites in the ANC that think that if they just ruin the process of progress, if they denied what you and I voted for in the last election, which was to get rid of this old system, these old people that didn't understand the industrial age, never mind the modern age, the fourth industrial revolution. That's what we were fighting against in that last election. That's what we voted for. To say, we want to progress, and we see you guys as the problem. Instead, they are saying, if we break the machine, everybody will be happy to use a horse and cart again. Everybody will be happy to have one shirt. No, those days are gone. Go and have a look at a shopping center. Who's doing the shopping? Is it the old people? Is it the young people? Those young people are on TikTok. They're watching YouTube. They are living their lives differently to their parents. Every generation of young people sees the progress that their parents don't. Their parents are saying, listen, we can't, famously the American Patent Office in 1899, one of the senior people wrote, and silly enough, and he'll always be remembered for this, he wrote those immortal words saying everything that needs to be invented has been invented. That was 1899. Just think of the progress since 1899. That old guy looked at it and said, we've got everything we need. Little did he know that we had only just begun. I am very, very upbeat for the future of the world, future of South Africa. But at the moment, we have got Luddites. And the Luddites are in charge. The people that want to break progress are sitting in charge. The people who want progress are saying, please leave. You've got people out there saying, oh, we want the means of production, when people don't even have a means of production anymore. It sits in the cloud somewhere. You've got leaders that are telling people that they should wear this color or that beret or this camouflage as if that's progress. No, sir. That's not progress. That's what we used to do 70, 80 years ago. Now people wear the most comfortable clothing that they can get. They don't want to wear overalls. So, South Africa has got a choice. And we made a choice. But those Luddites are going to try and break every bit of progress that we see. Are we going to let them? Or are we going to say, no, we want to live in a modern world, and you are standing in the way of progress? And I can tell you, every time in human history, when somebody has tried to stop progress, they have failed. And this will fail again. South Africa can either be part of the progress, or we can skip a step, go down the well for 50 years, and then emerge on the other side. I don't know about you, but I don't have those 50 years to wait. I want that progress now. And I'm sure that my children want that progress now. The politicians may want this world to have stopped in 1994, but it didn't. So, if you've watched this, don't let those Luddites win. Those people that are trying to break progress. Let's rather just be part of the modern movement, embrace it, because, boy, it's got a lot to offer. I remain optimistic, and I'm very optimistic that you've subscribed to the State of the Nation, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for joining me today.